Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone who's watching. I am Miss Wafa and today we'll be recording the lesson that you were not able to attend. So we had our Google Meet session this morning, so if you can't attend then we can still have our lesson here in this recording. Okay, so for today's lesson we'll still be talking about food and health. Okay, so the aim for today's lesson is to be able to talk about food and meals. Alright, as you can see here, there's a lot of fruits and there's a lot of other food also on the screen. So before that, what did you eat in your last meal? For me, I ate a lot of rice earlier. A lot of fried rice that my mom made, and I think I had a glass of water too. So what did you eat? Okay, so if you can't think of what to say yet, that's okay because I will be asking again at the end of the lesson. Alright, okay, so on the screen right now, what do you see? I can see a lot of food. Right, okay, so as you can see on the screen, there is a lot of food on the screen. There's fruits and then there's rice and other food on the right. Okay, simple enough, right? Okay, so moving on, can you tell me which sentence is correct? I ate a lot of rices or I ate a lot of rice? Okay, remember what I said earlier? Okay, so I'll give you 2 seconds to think which one is right, which one is wrong. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so this is the answer. I ate a lot of rices is wrong and I ate a lot of rice is correct. Did you get it right? Okay, so now, why is it wrong? Why is I ate a lot of rices wrong? And why is I ate a lot of rice correct? Okay, so the answer is very simple. It is because of countable and uncountable nouns. Alright, so you must be wondering, what is countable and uncountable nouns? Here, I have made it very, very simple. So, countable nouns are nouns that can be counted, right? That makes sense, right? Countable nouns. And uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be counted. So for countable nouns, there are apples, bananas, and grapes. So look at this box down here, the bottom left, the 2 apples. There are 2 apples, and we can say that because we can count it, right? 1 apple, 2 apples. So that's why apples are countable nouns, because you can count those apples. Now, let's go to the next box. Uncountable nouns are rice, water, and bread, amongst other things, okay? So for rice, you cannot count every single grain. The same goes for water and the same goes for bread. Rice cannot be counted individually, one by one. That will take a long time, so that's why it's categorized, it's labeled as uncountable nouns. If you want to count rice, you have to use another word that you can count, such as a bowl of rice. So you can count how many bowls of rice you have, but you cannot count how many rice you have in one bowl, right? Okay, so that's why if you want to count rice, you have to use a bowl or a cup of rice. Then you can count it. But rice itself cannot be counted. That is why it's an uncountable noun. Alright, so now that we know what are countable nouns and what are uncountable nouns, we can start to make sentences in our heads, right? So that's why from earlier, I ate a lot of rices is incorrect because there's no such thing as rices. Rice only has the singular form, which is rice. Rices do not exist. Okay. Now, for countable nouns, we have quantifiers at this. How to count, how to mention countable nouns, okay? So we can use many, some, any, and a lot of, okay? Might seem confusing now, but I have examples. Okay, so for example, when you ask a question using many is for countable nouns, okay? So how many apples are you going to eat? Okay, how many? Many refers to something you can count, alright? So you can answer with, I will eat a lot of apples. I won't eat any apples. I will have some apples. Okay, you can use any of that. So let's go back to the previous slide. Many, some, any, and a lot of. You can use all four of these words when you're talking about countable nouns. Nouns that you can count, okay? So how many apples are you going to eat? How many bananas are you going to eat? Alright? Okay, now for uncountable nouns. Much, some, any, and a lot of. Okay? So let's go to the examples. So how much rice are you going to eat? Remember, much is used to refer to uncountable nouns. Okay, so you can use much to talk about uncountable nouns. Okay, and you can answer with I will eat a lot of rice, I won't eat any rice, or I will have some rice. Okay, now I'm sure you have noticed this, but you can use a lot of, any, and some for both countable and uncountable nouns. Alright, but for many and much, there is a difference. Okay, much, you can only use much for uncountable nouns. How much rice are you going to eat? How much water are you going to drink? Okay, so uncountable nouns. Alright, so if you didn't get that, you can look at the slides again and try to slowly understand. Alright, so now that we got that, we're going to go for the first task, task A. So task A, you have to click on this link, which I will put in the description box below. So the live worksheets, you have to complete it, and then after you complete it, you can look at your own answers. So this one, you have to match and label countable and uncountable nouns. Alright? And then task B is you have to fill in this Google form. So last week I gave the same exercise, but a lot of you did not understand the topic. So I will give you another chance to do the same worksheet, the same questions with what you have learned today. Alright? And then after you're done with this work, I want you to complete one page from the drive-through module for the 5th of July 2021. Right, so all the links will be down in the description, so you can just click down below to do the live worksheet and the Google form. Alright, so that is all from me. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you can just WhatsApp me. Alright, thank you. Have a good day.